Hello and welcome back to Reality Remake. For more from Reality Remake, go to realityremake.com or check out the other videos on this channel. Now let's get into it. Today we're going to break down every opponent available to go toe-to-toe with in Thrill of the Fight by Sea Lost Interactive, with the exception of the special opponents like the Ghost and Zombie. We'll save those for another time. Each opponent in Thrill of the Fight has different characteristics and methods of fighting. Don't be fooled by the intensity of the game. It isn't a question of physical fitness alone, some strategy is also involved. Some opponents hit hard, some less so. Some of them are easy to knock out, others more so. Whether you're struggling to defeat one of them or just starting out and wondering what is in store, there'll be something here for you. The sparring partner is a nameless, overweight older guy with a bunch of pads on and a funky shirt tucked into some funky shorts. The fight against him lasts only a single round. All in all, he's really easy. He can take a few good punches, but swings the most slowly and weakly of all opponents. He makes for a good single round warm-up and not much else. After the warm-up with the sparring partner, the first true opponent is Melky. He's a skinny, yet still shredded, guy with a short haircut and almost complete lack of emotion. He won't feel much like a true opponent though, he's really just a slightly better version of the sparring partner. While he's a little harder to take down, punches a little more quickly, and punches a little harder. His strategy is pretty straightforward. Block for a little while and then throw a few punches, almost like he's on a timer or something. Ugly Joe looks like Rocky Balboa if he kept boxing, but never made it off the streets of Philadelphia. He's got a lazy eye and a face that took a million punches and could probably take a few more. A classic old school boxer, still in the ring. His match goes on for 3 rounds, and here those rounds might actually be necessary. Ugly Joe is much harder to take down than previous opponents, requiring a lot of powerful hits on weak points in order to bring him down. If you're not much in practice, you may have a very hard time with him. His blocking is pretty good, and his punches are fast and fairly hard. While he does not throw insane combos like later fighters, a couple of solid hits from Ugly Joe can knock you down. Despite this, Ugly Joe has his weaknesses. He's not particularly fast on his feet, and sidestepping him in order to get a punch on his liver or the side of his head can be very effective. His strategy is very defensive, taking hits and waiting for you to tire yourself out before counterattacking when he has an opening. He is the first real challenge of the game, so watch out. The Raging Reverend, just the Reverend from here on, is a short, angry-looking guy with a head that could generate enough power for a small village if you put a couple solar panels on it. He is the polar opposite of Ugly Joe. Depending on your strengths and weaknesses, he can be easier or harder than Joe. That's because he is fast on his feet and fights offensively. He will take swings at you before even defending himself. Where Joe is a test of careful, slow offense, the Reverend is a test of patient defense and quick attacks. Unlike Joe, the Reverend goes down very easily with a hit or two to the jaw. However, he has a counter for this, and that is a very annoying defensive block that only he uses. He holds his elbow up over one side of his head, and his other hand over the other side of his head. Normally in this situation, a jab to the face is called for, but that elbow very easily gets in the way, making a solid hit on the face or chin very difficult. Doing this does leave his side open though, so a couple of blows to his ribcage will cause him to drop his guard and leave his head open for a killing blow. All in all, the Reverend will fold to a quick and precise offense launched before he has a chance to throw any combos. When the Reverend has taken hits, he is very slow to counterattack before he recovers. Having an offense that is more overwhelming than his own will lead to a quick victory. The Lightning has all the attributes of the Reverend, but more. He's shorter and angrier. He's fast and hits quickly and hard, though he has an even glassier jaw than the Reverend does. He goes down very easily. The only problem is actually landing a solid hit on him. The Lightning is the first opponent who will actively dodge punches, and he does so pretty well, especially after recently taking a hit. He will move his head out of the way of subsequent punches. This makes landing subsequent hits to get a knockdown very difficult. Still, after wearing him down a bit, it's easy to bring him down with a single glorious hook. The same strategy for the Reverend works here as well. Hit him hard and fast, though he will actually counterattack fairly quickly, so watch out. The Spider is tall and second only to Ugly Joe in ugliness. He looks like someone told him you personally insulted his tiny hands right before the match, and now he has a personal vendetta against you. Though despite his intimidating appearance and height, he is extremely easy to take down. He has a jaw as glassy as the Lightning's, and he doesn't dodge. The trick is to land solid hooks on his broad chin. but it's a bit more difficult due to that chin being so high up. Attacking fast is really the only easy way to win. While the spider's defense is terrible, his offense is almost unrivaled. His hands are small, but they hit incredibly hard and fast. A single hit can quickly knock you down. Attack him fast and precisely. He's practically a stationary target, though he will counterattack if you let the pressure up. His fight can last for 4 rounds, but good luck getting that far without him knocking you out or you knocking him out. The artist is an extremely focused looking guy with a receding hairline and a sweet mustache. Of all the fighters, he is the most interesting to have a long, artful duel with through each of the 4 rounds of his fight. His style of fighting is extremely defensive. The artist relies on being fast on his feet and quick to dodge punches. Rather than attack you outright, he will wait for an absurd length of time for you to attack him and then very rapidly counterattack. Even when wounded, his counterattacks are fast and often very strong. Should his counter succeed, the artist will not hesitate to press his advantage and commence with a fierce flurry of blows. Fighting the artist should be done carefully. The previously best strategy of an all-out offense will not work nearly as well against him. Rather, whittling him down is the best way to go. Carefully maneuver into the engagement and bait him into counterattacking. Block and dodge the attack, and counter the counter while his face is unguarded. Even then, pressing the advantage can be dangerous unless the artist is on the verge of keeling over. Attacking him can be very tiring as he is extremely good at dodging, more so than any other opponent. An alternative strategy for a very aggressively inclined player is to do the same, but go all out on the attack when the artist's defenses are down. This will require either very quick blocking of his counterattacks or simply absorbing the blows and resetting the attack. This strategy requires a lot of skill and experience at seeing the artist's dodges coming and adjusting aim in order to still land a blow. Therefore, it is only recommended for very advanced players. The Duke is a thick dude built like a pile of bricks and just enough cornrows to not be bald. He wears a very stylish purple outfit, though maybe he would look better in red. Where the artist is a master of evasive defense, the Duke is a master of static defense. He blocks quickly, and his big hands block a wide area. More so, he is extremely tough. Knocking out the Duke is very difficult. Even with many successive, devastating hits, he does not go down easily. He does not strike extremely quickly, but he does hit very hard and can knock you down easily. That being said, he takes his time with counterattacks, though he will counterattack. If left alone, he will go on the offense, though again he generally takes a few slower but heavy blows rather than quick attacks or a flurry of punches. The best strategy against the Duke is slow pressure. Keep attacking him, but not so quickly that your exhaustion becomes too much before the Duke falls down. Punch him in the face so that he changes his guard, and then hit him with a hook before backing off and coming in for another run. Otherwise, hit him with a hook and then follow up with a solid face hit or an uppercut. Changing the location of attacks quickly will work just as well against the Duke as it does against any other fighter, but those hits need to be on weak points and be very strong to be worth the energy. Score enough hits and a couple of very well placed blows in succession will knock him down in the later rounds. Matty is the most stylish of all the fighters, with a red and blue glove combo and the most tight-fitting shorts of all. He's fast and can dodge, though not as well as the artist, and he can take a few hits, though not as well as the Duke. If he has an appropriate opening, his attacks can be very fast and strong, and he will push you. His style is fairly aggressive, though he will certainly give some room to breathe. He throws combos more than any previous fighter, and failing to defend from one of them can lead to a quick knockdown. All in all, he is quick, and combines the traits of all previous fighters, though he does none of them the best. Due to his balanced nature, a variety of tactics can work against Matty. Whatever you are most proficient at will likely be the best option here. All-out offense works against him, though his dodges can make this a very tiring strategy. Careful defense is another good strategy, though a single uppercut for Matty can put you on the floor. A mixture of the two is likely the best, since he is not overly hard to knock down like the Duke is. Wait for Matty to attack, and then counterattack fiercely with a few strong hits to weak points. Let him dodge, and then strike again when he stands straight, or back off and prepare for another attack. Letting Matty strike first can also work, as this will leave him exposed for a hook to the jaw. Here he is, MoneyMaker, the big boss with the tacky golden gloves, deceptively skinny arms, and what looks like a glass jaw but certainly isn't. Don't be mistaken. MoneyMaker is as tough as they come in Thrill of the Fight. He hits the hardest and is the most difficult to knock down. His speed and dodging ability rivals even that of the artist. He's the last fighter and he's the hardest. Most of all, he has no weaknesses. If you're going to fight MoneyMaker, prepare for one hell of a workout and a challenge. You'll likely need to go for most, if not all of the 5 rounds of the fight. Since MoneyMaker has no weaknesses, just like Matty, no particular strategy is strong against him. He will dodge, he blocks quickly, and he hits the hardest of all. Most of all, he is extremely aggressive. Rarely will he simply stand by and block, unless he has taken a lot of damage and needs to recover. Instead, he will constantly pressure you, attacking both with single hits and combo attacks. Those combos are lethal and come from a variety of angles, forcing an extremely dynamic defense in order to stop them. Generally, you're better off just sidestepping out of the way. Just as with Matty, whatever strategy you feel you are best at is likely going to be the way to go. All-out offense is possible, but will require extreme endurance and the ability to quickly dodge counterattacks in order to work. That is likely the least viable strategy here. Just like with Matty, a more careful approach is the best, though with MoneyMaker, the slightest slip-up can end up with you out for the count. Defend carefully and counterattack quickly. Once you defeat MoneyMaker, congratulations! He's the hardest fighter in the game. If you're a real enthusiast, try them all again on the next highest difficulty, or play around with the settings. Setting the force multipliers to 1 times each can make for a much more stable feeling fight. Additionally, turning off drift protection can keep your hooks from drifting behind your opponent's head. These both offer a little more realism and a little more challenge. That is, if the most intense workout in virtual reality isn't intense enough for you. Thanks for watching. This has been Reality Remake. For more about VR from us, check out the other videos on our channel or go to realityremake.com. Have a good one and happy boxing.